Hello, Sally here from the Country Trust. Today we're going to learn about sowing seeds in pots that we can then plant out later in larger pots or in the ground outside. It's a beautiful day, so I want to make the most of this and get the seeds started. The first thing that you'll need are some pots, and you can get a pot from a garden centre, but actually you can make your own just as easily. This one I've cut up from an old milk container, and I've just taken the top off. I have put holes in the bottom, you can just see them there, and that's really important if you're reusing containers. I've got another one here. I think there were some mushrooms in there before, and you can actually make a pot out of paper. This is a sheet of newspaper, and I can show you how to do that in a different video. Seeds come in all shapes and sizes. This is a runner bean. We've got chickpea here, a tomato seed, and this is a courgette. Now some of these have come from a packet, some of them I've actually got from a store cupboard. These are all tender seeds. Tender seeds means that they need to be planted out when all risk of frost has gone. So I'm starting them in pots, and when it's a little bit warmer outside during the night as well, and we won't get a frost, then I'll transfer them outside, either into a bigger pot where they've got more root space, or out into the garden itself. So that's around about May. It really depends on the plant and it depends on the weather. Now you notice that all of these seeds are different sizes, and that's a really good indicator of how deep you plant. So basically, very basically, you plant your seeds 2 to 3 times the depth of it. So if it was this size, you need to plant it about that deep, okay? If it's smaller, you can just about, I'm going to put it on the end of my finger there. Don't know if you can see that there. So that's a tomato seed, and it doesn't need to be planted that deep because it's a much smaller seed. So you just need to plant it just underneath the surface. So the rule is 2 to 3 times the depth of the seed. I'm going to be planting them in my homemade pot of paper, and I'll show you how to do that a bit later. But basically it doesn't need any holes in this particular pot because it's made from paper, so the water will drain out anyway, so you don't need to put any pots in, any holes in the pot. And we're just going to fill that up very easily with a bit of compost. If you haven't got compost, you can use soil just from outside. And there we go. So I've filled it up to the top, just left a little space so we can put some water in and it doesn't just run straight off like an umbrella. And remember the rule about the depth of the seed. So it's quite a large seed, runner beans. I'm going to just use my finger. You should really have gloves on, and I'm going to pop that in, and it's going to be about that deep. So in it goes. Okay, and then I'm going to cover that over. Now I could put a couple of seeds in there and use the space, so I'm going to just put another little hole on the side, and I'm going to pop that in too. Okay, so those are my runner bean seeds. I'm going to be doing more of those. I'm now going to go and do my chickpea seed. And these are the chickpeas, and again these weren't brought in a garden centre. I actually got them from a packet inside my cupboard, and they were dried chickpeas, so I'm going to plant those and see if they grow. They might have seed inhibitors on them, so it might not grow, but let's give it a go and see what happens. So I'm going to use this was my mushroom tray. I'm going to plant a few seeds in here because I don't know if it's going to work, but there's nothing to lose. So fill that up. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to plant a few of them in here, and then I'll transfer those out later. So let's see, maybe we can get 6 in here. I'm going to drop those in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and cover those over. Now, really importantly, I won't know which seed is growing where later unless I label them. So if you can find any labels, brilliant, or you can make your own out of plastic or anything really to hand, as long as you've labelled what you've sown. So this is it's going to be my runner bean, so I'm going to pop that in there. And with this one, I'm just going to use a sticky label because I've run out of other labels. So I'm going to stick that on the side on here. And then I'll know later what it is and when it was planted. Here are my sown seeds, all in the different containers. I'm going to water them now, and I'm going to leave them out during sunny days, but take them in every evening until around about probably mid-May, when all the frosts have gone. I'm ready to water my seeds now, and rather than using a watering can, I've made a mini watering can, and it's just made out of an old plastic bottle, and in the lid I've made these tiny little holes just with a pin there, and this is brilliant. It won't wash the seeds away, it's perfect for indoors, and even with my tiny little seeds outdoors, I still use it actually. So here we are, let's just water those. Brilliant, give it a bit of a squeeze. The bottle gets a bit squashed, but that's fine. And here we go. We will get soggy paper containers, but that's all right. As long as they're fairly close together, they won't collapse, and you can actually plant the whole pot outside once you're ready, and once you've got your little plants growing, and that doesn't disturb the roots. The roots will grow through the paper. You've been watching Sally with the Country Trust. We've been learning about seed sowing, and whoops, this is Matilda. She's just saying goodbye.